Okay. Oh, microphone's a bit far away. Okay, there we go. So, this is a quick rundown of a faction called the Drylands Nomads, which were added quite recently in the game's development, and are one of, if not my favourite faction, hands down. So, we'll find them only in the exploration screen. They can appear in occasionally end-of-turn events and in the throne room, but they kind of keep to themselves. They can be found only in the south, and are one of the basically the only friendly faction in the south if you ignore the coast. So we'll find them in the Drylands, if you can tell by the names. And you'll note here that they currently hold the Dry Plains and the Big Red Canyon. Now, we'll skip a few turns to demonstrate what actually happens, because, I mean, obviously they're nomads, so that's where they were now. We're going to end the turn, a bunch of stuff happens, we can ignore that. Let's go back to the south. And, okay, they're still in the Dry Plains, they're not in the Big Red Canyon anymore, which means, well, we'll explain what that means in a minute. So they're still in the Dry Plains, so I hope they don't, I mean, everything's randomly generated, so in theory they could continue to remain there for no reason. And they have. Okay, bear with me. Let's skip a few more turns. I mean, they should be moving every turn, essentially, but call my bluff. Okay, this is ridiculous. Oh, wait, are they demonic? No, they're not. Oh, crap. Okay, bear with me. Technical difficulties. Finally. Okay, so essentially they should be moving every turn, but it's a random sort of decision as to whether they move or not, so they just decided not to move for quite a while. So, wherever they move, we got a special unique graphic for the area that they're currently in, with their tent set up, and now if we go back to the Dry Plains where they just were, it's just what it was otherwise, and what would happen if you killed them. So they don't damage the landscape. So you approach a small encampment set up around an old ruined ship in the dry lake bed. It appears to be the current home of the Drylands Nomads. So they do bounce around. There's one more place they can go, and I think it's the Eerie Cave or the Abandoned Cave. I can't remember exactly. So we can hire them because they have nomad mercenaries. So we're going to hire 10 of them. There's only a limit to how many that can be hired. There are a specific pool of troops separate to the normal troops, which do get sort of like sifted away to be specifically mercenaries. We can speak to the leader of the nomads, who is based around Conan the Barbarian. So you approach the leader of the nomads, a man named Koova. He bears a strange crown and a sword protruding from behind him. He appears to be the most physically fit man you've ever seen, and he'll tell you a bunch of stuff about the settlement and things. He's pretty barbaric, but you can ask him actually to tell you about the surrounding areas. So because we've unlocked everything, he sort of has nothing new to say. But if you haven't unlocked any area, you can actually pay him to reveal you a new location. So he sort of gives you the exploration anyway. And there are specific... There should be... Yeah, there should be specific text for each area. And there'll be specific text if you're talking to them while he's in an area as well. So, for example, we're in the dry... It says, tell me about this dry lake bed. So that's that. That's Koova. You can speak to a random nomad, and you get some random text. I once saw Koova break a man's nose with a slap. So you get an impression here. You can visit the champion set. So this is the second... Well, he's Tavak, the champion of nomads. So he's sort of like the second in command to Koova. We can visit Koova's tiger pen. And finally, we can watch a nomad brawl. So it's a little bit different to the regular brawl thing, in that there's a little bit of spice added to this one. You can occasionally get special named units. So for example, this one we've got Doe the Punching Bag. It's unique only to the nomads brawling. You can occasionally, so we'll skip this until we get the right one, but you can get Koova the... oh, we got the Punch Bag again. So the Punch Bag has way higher HP but terrible attack. We'll see if we can get Koova, or... There we go, Koova the Nomad King. So Koova will hands down probably not even get touched. Oh, fair play. And we can get... So there's Doe again. So there's like a 1 in 5 chance of getting a champion or something like that. And then there's Tavak as well, who should appear at random. A really good fight is if you see Tavak versus Koova, because it's close. And, I mean, Koova should win, but it's random chance. So, you never know. That is the most ridiculous name I've ever seen. I don't know what that is. And I've never seen a name like that produced. That's bizarre. Okay, so that's the Nomad camp. And I'm going to wait until they take the Big Red Canyon again, actually, because there's a special thing that we need to show you. So let's see if they've done it this time. They have, thank God. So they've moved to the abandoned cave this time. So again, if we go to the dried lake bed, it's now not got tents there, but the abandoned cave has. And it's the same story again. They've gained one new mercenary, so it's all the same. And instead we've got another area they own currently called the Big Red Canyon. So we'll go and have a look. So you approach the giant canyon where you can barely see the bottom. The scene is beautiful, but the drop to the bottom makes even the most seasoned climber squirm at the thought. The canyon is currently being held by nomads, who are rock jumping, which is their way of settling a dispute between two nomads. The two jump between rocks until one falls to their death. So we're going to watch a rock jump. Koova steps up on the highest rock and shouts, "We shall see who is the truest rock jumper. Let them approach." As he finishes, two nomads step forward. Neladon the nomad and Gorol the nomad. Neladon the nomad skips over several loose rocks, dislodging one, but manages to avoid falling. Gorol hops from a smaller rock to a bigger rock effortlessly. Neladon the nomad slips and falls off the edge of the canyon, and the battle is over. So essentially it's just that, and this does actually affect the population of the nomads, so they only do it every 3 years, because obviously each one of these jumps, they lose a member of their society, and they're quite a small group to begin with. So every 3 years it happens. Once you sort of skip through it, automatically happens, and it won't be for another maybe 3 years, possibly more, before they do it again. So that's the nomads. Now we can, I think I have some cheats that I can use to show you the other half of it, because the nomads are more than just a random group in the world. They have other sort of effects. So we're going to go to the cheats menu, and I think the cheat we want is, well, there's one that's specifically used to reset the nomads. We're gonna attack them first, actually. So I'll show you how they are in battle. Let's go to the abandoned cave, and we'll attack the nomad camp. So I'm going to send 139 soldiers, 47 knights. Thought I had more troops than this. Okay, this is going to be fun. So we actually lost. So we killed... oh, but damn, we didn't actually kill a lot of them. Okay, that's embarrassing. Let me go get an army. Wow. Actually, we can afford all of them. Some bandits, tribal goblins. So we're going to go back and try again with more than 10 troops. Okay, 22. I'll attack the nomads camp again. So this time I'm going to send 1,000 soldiers, and they're going to do the job. What you notice now is the battles has been sort of modified. So this is a fight. This is a fair fight. So it goes on, and finally we'll notice. Once we've killed all their troops, killed some spearmen, things like that, lion tamers, it's a long fight. So we've got the nomad champions coming out, and finally Tavak the nomad champion arrives, but he got killed, and after that tamed lions were released in battle, which are the last sort of port of call before you fight Koova himself. So the tamed lions did really well, and then Koova himself killed so many troops, because Koova is one of the most powerful and brutal men. Obviously he wasn't able to stand against 1,000 men, but he killed... I mean, we lost that battle in terms of strength. So now, with the nomads gone, the settlement is no more, and they are basically wiped from the world. You'll never see them again. However, we're going to cheat and get them back. So, let me just find the cheat that is used to reset them, because I can't remember. Okay, so... let's see, 6, and the cheat is 7898, I think. Sets the southern nomads back up, and then we are gonna make them evil to make a point. So, it's an event that can randomly happen. The nomads fight the demons at the end of every turn, usually. Sometimes they don't, and they try and kill the odd stray demon, but they're not going to really change the tide too much. It helps having them there, but I mean, they're definitely only a small aspect of fighting the demons. The demons can actually defeat them and turn them all into a sort of evil faction instead, which we're going to go find now. So I've just put in a cheat code that should automatically trigger that event, but maybe removing them has done a... Okay, let me reset the turn and see if it updates. Let's go and try and find them. I think maybe killing them has, well, killed them. Crap. Okay, I'm going to load a save instead. Oh, no, I don't want to save. So we'll run the cheat code again, because this should have a reset number of troops in it. So 7896, and let's go back. And now, in theory, oh, there we go. Dark Nomads are settled in the dry plains earlier. So this is a different place. So you approach the camp of the Drylands Nomads, a group who are under the control of the Demon Overlord. As you approach, they ready their weapons and stand silently, waiting for you to attack. So that's what happens if you're not a Demon King. As some of you may know, you start off various different ways in the game. It's random sort of chance as to how you start your game. You can be a Demon King. Now there is a cheat to change that. Currently I'm not. So I'm going to... Oh, no. 6092. And I'm going to be a demon, essentially. So we're a Demon King now. So if I go back to that encounter, because they're puppets of the demons, they should now be friends with me. So you approach the camp of the Drylands Nomads, a group who are under the control of the Demon Overlord. So this is Koova now. And he's pretty brain dead and can't talk to you about as much as before. The cage of lions is now full of things, pikes and heads of old champions. You can actually attack the Nomad camp, and this time it should be a bit different. I don't know if we'll get as far as Koova this time, because again, they're pretty strong. Yeah, so now they're Dark Nomads, so they're specifically, the sort of units have changed, and they have special new units that didn't exist before, such as half demons, flesh hunters, demon borns, things like that. So I think we need to get more troops now to demonstrate further. Oh crap! Okay, didn't want to do that. Okay, let's fight the evil Koova. I think the evil version of Koova is actually stronger than the normal one, but I can't remember. Or in this case, we don't have Koova at all. So, finally killed him. It's interesting, actually. Ah, there we go. There's Koova. So, we've got a few more left. And Koova, the Champion of Darkness, still strong as ever. But that's them done. So that is basically a summary of the Nomads. They appear in throne room events occasionally, and they do a few end of turn events where they attack the demons. Also, if you defeat the demons and there's still Dark Nomads that we just fought that are alive, they will also go to the Demon Gate and stop you from entering until you've killed all them as well. So they become a constant nuisance either way. They're either a nuisance for the demons or a nuisance for yourself if the demons can beat them. And that is the Nomads. That is a quick review of a tiny faction sprinkled into a part of the exploration in the world. So that's pretty much everything.